Greetings, children of the screen, your friendly neighborhood nerd scum here, and welcome to my first video of 2020. For today's episode, we're going to be doing a very laid-back, chilled, just kind of unofficial episode of The Batman I Believe In, because as I came home from work today and was getting ready to, get all my stuff together to go shoot this movie, I saw the leaked images of the McFarlane Toys DC Comics Multiverse figures that are going to be coming out this next year. What the hell is going on with the Batmans? Take a look here. First off, let's just go ahead and mention the entire line. The first images we're seeing right here are pretty underwhelming. Now, don't get me wrong, these are staples of DC action figures. A lot of them are beloved versions, such as the animated versions, but all of them look a little wonky. And even the ones that don't necessarily look wonky, such as the TV version of Green Arrow, it's like, okay, so that show's ending, right? Like, that show's done. By the time this figure comes out, I don't think there's going to be a Green Arrow show, is there? I don't know, unless they finally decide to renew it again. Anyway, but then, you go and you look at the others, and it's like, okay, so a classic Superman, we've gotten that dozens of times. We literally just got one from DC Essentials. Why was this, this? Okay, yeah, I guess it's that's a cornerstone, so I get it. But then we also have the animated one, and the animated one doesn't look too bad, although, and we'll talk about this with the Batman figure as well, but, holy crap, those knees. Those figures, I feel like, are going to have a lot of trouble standing up. And it's difficult with the Bruce Timm kind of Paul Dini designs anyway, because they're so top-heavy. But in the most recent, DC Collectibles waves of the Batman animated series lines, they really went a long way to fixing that. They fixed the articulation in the knees, and they also kind of actually made the feet on the figures a little bit bigger, and has really helped with them being able to stand on their own. But, alright, we're here to talk about the Batman figures, so let's go ahead and dive into these Batman figures. So, since we already mentioned it, we're going to start off with the Batman the Animated Series figure. I am amazed how little the face and head of this figure actually look like the character from the show. And again, because, okay, so there's two different versions. There's the Batman the Animated Series, and then there's the Season 4 character design. Two different costumes, you have two different character designs, and it seems like this face almost is them trying to do the second version of the face, but in the first version of the costume. But when you actually get really close and look at it, it actually doesn't look like either of them. It doesn't look like any version of Bruce Wayne. The general shape they're using is not the shape of Batman Animated Series head. And again, looking at this figure, there's a couple of issues. Number one, like I said, the knees. Man, I am pretty sure, yeah, he comes with a stand, but it looks like it's just the stand has foot pegs. And unless that stand is pretty heavy, there's no way in hell this figure's going to stand up. Those knees are going to be janky all to hell. Then, moving on up, I know that the ones put out by the DC Collectibles are limited in their articulation, so it's nice that over here we got some, the upper body swivel and stuff like that. It looks like there's a waist swivel, but I have to admit, it's nice to have that, but in these animated figures, the, hard lines that are in there to add to some of these articulation really break up and, hurt what makes that design look special. The same thing with the Superman figure. But with the Batman one, we're going to have the extra problem of, you see how that cape is? It's meant to look cool, and it does look cool. I'm not going to lie, it looks cool. I love having the cape over the shoulders like that, where, it's just hanging off. But they gave this figure butterfly joints, and you're not going to be able to do anything with them, unless that cape is made out of, the lightest, flimsiest plastic possible, or cloth, which you can tell by the picture it's not made of cloth. So you're not going to be able to move those shoulders, almost at all. So there's almost no point. It doesn't even matter that it has the slightly upgraded articulation in those places, because it's going to be almost completely non-functional. So now let's move on to what I believe is kind of their version of the kind of Jim Lee promo art for the Batman 80th anniversary. You've seen it when I do my action figure videos. I've got the poster of it up on the wall, and the bat's really weird. It's weird. I'm not a big fan of the bat design on that version of Jim Lee's Batman, even though I love Jim Lee's Batman in every incarnation. So yeah, they did that version of it. So I have to say, I'm not crazy about the bat. It already makes the thing look kind of like, I don't know. Beyond that, what is going on with his waist? Look at his waist. Holy crap, his waist is so tiny. What the hell is going on with that waist? Oh my god. I don't understand what that is or how that happened, but damn. The way that they have the articulation, and with that being so small, is it really looks like he's wearing like some kind of oversized chest plate. It is really not good. This Batman also has the same problem with the cape, where it looks dope. I'm not going to say it doesn't, but you're not going to get any of the articulation you want out of those arms with the cape design like that, so like, what's even the point of it? It's like, okay, pay close attention to this figure because it is something that people harped on to no end with the previous line of DC Essential figures. And it looks like this line is having a lot of this problem too. The arms and legs on these figures are too long. Or maybe on these it actually looks like maybe the legs are too short, but the arms are definitely too long. Like, we have characters who, like, if their hands weren't closed, their fingers would be all the way touching their knees, and Batman definitely suffers from this. So yeah, that makes it look really weird. Also, the way that, like, you can look on him also, it does not look like any of these figures have double-jointed elbows. It looks like they have double-jointed knees, but no double-jointed elbows. So again, on a Batman where you can't use the shoulders because of the cape, you'd have, like, swivels here and stuff, but, like, you're going to be your Batman's going to be like a T-Rex. You're going to have T-Rex Batman arms going on, you know? You're going to be able to do all this stuff right here with Batman. Oh, I am vengeance, I am the night, I am T-Rex arm Batman. You know, that's the McFarlane Batman, I guess, is T-Rex arm Batman. But anyway, yeah, so I really don't like that. And again, I don't want to harp on it too much because, again, these are just like, they're leaked, okay? And they're also probably just the prototypes. So we'll get updates on this, but also on this particular figure, all the sculpting on it looks like trash, man. Like, the general body proportions are off. Like, the toning is weird. It's like heavily toned in some places, but then in other places it's very untoned. And don't even get me started on that head sculpt. In fairness, I don't have a really good picture of it, so I'm gonna try to give the benefit of the doubt that it can't be as bad as what I'm seeing it to be, where it looks like one of the, like, multiverse figures from, like, 2.5 years ago, where, like, Batman just had, like, the blocky, like, no detail, featureless, freaking robot face or something. Like, ooh, I really don't like this figure. I think it's a really bad-looking figure. In fairness, like, if I wasn't someone who collected figures, especially Batman figures, the way that I do, this might look okay, but it really doesn't. Like, it's really bad. But anyway, I'm done harping on that one. Let's move on to the next Batman figure, why don't we? So next up, we have the Hellbat armor, which is undeniably awesome. The armor in the comics is awesome, and this figure looks pretty cool. It definitely looks like a child's toy and not a collector's figure, or even like a mid-grade. This, you know, like, this almost looks like something from, like, the Batman Missions line. Like, it looks like that version of, like, the very young child version of a Batman toy. Like, when you look at it, like, it is definitely the Hellbat armor, and the paint apps are perfectly reasonable, and, like, the sculpt is decent enough, but something about it, the proportions of it are definitely off from the way that it's normally depicted, and it feels like a lot of the kind of edgier qualities of it have been really, really toned down and subdued. It's not as jagged as it always appears to be. I don't know. It feels like a very soft shoe version of this figure. But again, just the prototype. Hopefully for all of these figures, not just the ones I've mentioned here, but also the ones that I haven't mentioned, and I'm not going to because we're talking about the Batman figures, and I've already went on way too long with that whole Batman T-Rex arm thing that I was doing. I don't even know where that came from. So, basically, yeah, like, as you can tell, I'm not super thrilled with these first offerings, but they are just the prototypes, and they are leaked photos, so hopefully the final product, when they actually hit the shelf, will look a good bit better than this. I've seen a lot of really great looking McFarlane figures here recently. I don't really buy very many McFarlane figures, so I can't personally speak to the quality of the articulation. But depending on the line of McFarlane toys, I hear very different things. So it's also important to keep in mind that this is just the first batch that they're doing, and they clearly picked characters that, whether the toy sucks or not, it's going to sell. So hopefully, knowing that and having that padding to start off with, we'll see some more creative or some more inventive or just some better quality things moving forward. That's just me. What did you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. Are you happy with these, or do you agree with me? Do you miss the old DC Multiverse stuff? Are you happy with these, or do you think that they're both equally crap, just in different ways? Let me know down in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, guys, please leave a like and share it with some friends. If this is your first time watching and you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe so you can check out all the bat-tastic content I got coming out in the future. Once again, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you all have a good one. See you next time. Same Nerd Scum time, same Nerd Scum channel. Nerd Scum